have an exceptional guest today, a dear friend and a mentor to many, including me, Judy Fordon. With over 2 decades of experience in the real estate industry, Judy is a seasoned expert who has navigated through the toughest of markets. In 1999, she started her real estate career in Detroit, Michigan, where she closed over 80 homes per year during the recession. It's a testament to her skills and tenacity. For the last 15 years, Judy has been a full-time real estate coach, sharing her wealth of knowledge and experience with agents across the country. And just this year, she decided to jump back into production, further showcasing her commitment to staying ahead of the curve. We're truly honored to have Judy on the show today, taking time out of her busy schedule to share her insights and wisdom with all of us. Judy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks. It both makes me feel old and proud. Thank you.
You are so welcome. You know, you and I go back quite a ways. You coached me for many years, and you taught me how to be successful and to mentor to many. And, you know, something I was thinking about this morning, you know, before this interview, and I'm going, gosh, I really don't know what got you into real estate.
Oh, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. First, I want to say thank you for that, because that was my goal for 15 years and moving forward, being with EXP and still coaching people. So thank you for that, because that is always my goal, is to help people become their best. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So my story getting into real estate is kind of a funny one. I'm going to go way back. I started dating my husband when I was only 15 years old, and his parents were brokers. And I remember being at their home for, dinners and parties and things like that. And they were just always on the phone. They were always in a deal. They were always talking about real estate. And I thought to myself, who in the hell would ever want to be in real estate? And I was like, not me. Never, never. Well, never say never, because then fast forward, 11, I guess it would have been 11, 14, I don't even know the years now. We moved back to Michigan after my husband had been in the military for over 9 years. And we opened up a small franchise business, and we did that. And once I got that done, I had to decide what to do next. And they came to me and said, we're looking for someone to assist us in our business. There were 3 brokers, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and the brother. And I went back to my teenage years and thought, I said I'd never do that. Oh, no way. Right. But after them talking with me and different things, I decided to go for it. And I fell in love. And I started out by being their assistant. They took me everywhere. They were the best teachers and mentors. I was hip to hip with them through appointments and meetings. And I learned real estate, probably 20 years worth of real estate in 6 months, because I went everywhere with them. So that was my start in real estate, not wanting to.
Oh my gosh.
But falling in love.
Yeah, isn't this a business that you can just get hooked into, and you really do fall in love, and you have a passion for it. Yeah. And I know that, through the years that you and I have known each other, and that's one of the things that I love so much about you, is that passion that you had for coaching, right? Mm-hmm. You spent the last 15 years in coaching. What inspired you to go from production then into coaching?
Yeah, so it was interesting. So after working with them for a while, just because of some family dynamics, I went out on my own. And I ended up at a company that was working with a national coaching company. And so once I got involved in that, they asked me to do the coaching for the company. So corporate coaching for that with the coaching company. And I did that for quite a few years while selling, while co-managing. And, the more I do, the better I do, is just my mantra. And then there was an opportunity about 3 or 4 years into doing it that way for the office, that I just got the opportunity. They asked me to work for them full time. And it just was an opportunity that I felt was something I couldn't pass up. And I'm glad I didn't. it was really great. So again, it just happenstance of how it worked.
I will make a public testament that you were an amazing, amazing coach, and you helped me tremendously to build my business and to become successful. So, I just want to say thank you, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it wasn't for you. So with that being said, I know that you had helped agents with some like significant challenges, right? And to help them, overcome certain things in their careers. Can you share some of those?
Of what the challenges are for most agents?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn it back on you a little bit. What's a challenge that I might have helped you with?
Oh my gosh. One of the things that I had a huge problem with at the beginning was my daily schedule, right? And staying on task and making my phone calls. We kind of go back in the day, you and I do go back a ways. So back in the day when there were still some landline phones and I was on the phone quite a bit, but I was just organized. And to organize my day made probably the biggest difference. And then to know it inside and out. And I still use that same exact same presentation today.
I love it. That's great. Well, I mean, again, and so that's usually the challenge. The challenge for most agents is their schedule, right? Because we have free will in this business, and most people take too much free will on their day. So that one of the things that I've always talked about is restriction in your schedule is freedom. I'll probably bring that up again later. So I think the challenges that I most saw in agents is the scheduling, the consistency, the tenacity, because and we'll talk about that a little bit as I started this new thing of 3-4 months ago of what that took even for myself. But that's where it comes up, because people start out, they're really strong in it. And there's about a 3-month mark where even as a coach, I could see people trying to wiggle out because it becomes really hard. And a lot of the work that they're doing, if it's consistent enough, or even if it's not, then the business, it's like they're not getting the results fast enough.
Right.
So it's the starting and stopping because everything else didn't happen properly in the beginning. Schedule, consistency, tenacity.
Having that daily routine and try to follow it 100%. It's hard to be 100%, but try to be the best you can be is something that you taught me. And by doing that, I just saw my business explode. And so now with you getting back into production after 15 years of coaching,
because I didn't sell at all. Yeah.
What were some of your challenges?
Well, for me, I moved into an area where because I moved here to Utah about 3.5 years ago, and I helped open up another coaching company. So my SOI was all agents. So I had no SOI here other than a few neighbors, and most of those were agents already too. You know how that goes.
Right.
Well, my first challenge is that I wasn't as connected to my community as I normally would have been outside of real estate agents. That was the first one. Not a big deal, because as a coach, I know that's only one source, so that's not a problem. I could say I came in, I wish I did this a year or two ago, because, the market was what it was. I would say as an agent, the shifting market may have been a challenge, but honestly, for me, it just fired me up, because I love this kind of market, because I know that if I do the work, that I'll win. And any agent, it doesn't matter who you are, getting started, coming back, continuing, this is the kind of market that you can really shine in if you do the work. So I guess that was a challenge. The challenge was no SOI, maybe the shifting market. And then the next one was I needed to start a business really quickly. That not only did I have to set up a space, then I had to do that while I was working. And because I helped you move from state to state and how hard it is to get things started and still be working and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was able to meet that challenge by hiring an assistant immediately. That was a little nerve-wracking because, money is fine, right? But it's also a big expense. But I'm telling you, if I hadn't had that assistant start with me on day one, it would have been difficult. I'm
Right.
so grateful so if anybody out there, if you have a means to get an assistant, even part-time when you're getting started, it's the best money you will ever invest in your business.
Briefly, with that being said, made me think about, talk a little bit about the money, how if you're doing all the assistant and the paper shuffling, how a $10, $15 an hour is holding back how much potentially per hour. This is something you taught me.
Yeah, exactly. So let me just figure out how much I make. I should have had this. So let's just say, I'm going to do a little quick math. Okay. So I roughly make about $350 to $400 an hour as an agent doing the production I'm doing, if I'm, just doing regular math. So for me, there's a couple things. So for me to spend an hour, well, one, I would spend an hour doing something that would take my assistant 10 minutes to do. So that's another.
Right.
Right. But it just doesn't make sense to have that kind of disparity of the job that it takes of what you're doing versus what you can do and the amount of money you can make. So the money producing activities in my assistant, I'm telling you, if she sees my hands in something I'm not supposed to, it's like a quick smack, because she knows that, because she makes money off of our deals too. So she knows.
Right.
She knows that if I'm messing around in her business, one, I'm probably going to screw it up. And second, then I'm missing out on making a $300, $400 an hour return.
Exactly. You're taking money out of her pocket because you're trying to do something. Exactly.
Well, that was the beautiful thing. So if we talk a little bit about that, because if you remember, I'm a little bit of a control freak.
No.
So the nice thing coming into this business and coming into a new MLS, I didn't know how to run anything. I don't know how to use SkySlope. I didn't know how to use any of the things. I still don't. And it's perfect, because that way I won't touch it. And she does it better than I can. She might do it different than I can. There might be some mistakes. It doesn't matter. It gets done.
Right. So being out of the production for 15 years, things have changed, right? With the technology. It is the changes that I've seen, in the 30 years I've been in the industry. I mean, just even the social media, the way that's changed, and how you conduct your business. So with getting started back into production, what was the main thing that you used to start building some momentum?
I'm on the phone minimum 2 hours, but usually 3 to 4 hours every single day talking to people. I'm doing it the old fashioned way. Now I have my social and I'm getting all of that up and running, and that, well, again, my assistant does that mostly. Right. And then she tells me what she wants me to work on and put up. But it really does come down to who you're talking to. So since I don't have a sphere here, I needed to go out and I call expireds for sale by owners. I call around in neighborhoods. If I'm not doing something, I'm on the phone, because that's the only way I'm going to get business.
Right.
So I don't know if you want me to go into how long it took me to get my first deal.
I think the audience should know that. You basically, even though you have all this experience in real estate, right? You basically started over again, but you also started over in a town that you just moved to, right? So you knew nobody. So I think that'd be awesome.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm willing to be vulnerable, because I think it only helps. So one of the funny things, I guess I can go back to this. So part of my drive is that when I decided to make this move, I have to tell you, part of me thought, what if I've been full of shit? Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on this, but
Absolutely.
what if I'm full of shit all these years and what I used to do that got me 80 deals either no longer works or I just can't do it anymore? I was really so part of my ego or a lot of my ego was my drive of like, I can't fail at this because I have a lot of, I've coached thousands of agents, not only in the US, but I've coached agents in Italy and in Canada and Australia and like the world, right? I started out just like I would have started out with you, Denny. I coached myself basically. And I mean, I have a coach too, but I just knew that the magic number has always been 20 contacts a day or more, 100 a week. So I knew that I needed to make, and that's what I did for myself. I've heard people say you should do 30 a day, 40 a day. To me, that was it became too much. And I was just having I was having contactitis basically. So I narrowed it down to 20 contacts a day. Some days I do 40, some days I do, it depends on my schedule, right? But it's 100.
And those are actual contacts. You are talking to them.
I'm talking to somebody.
Yes.
I've at least told them that I'm calling about their property. I'm a real estate agent. So if they hang up on me because I've said I'm a real estate agent and I'm here to help you, and that to me is a contact.
Yes.
Okay. As long as I've gotten out some of my, spiel, so to speak. So I knew that I had to do 100 contacts a week. And I'm not really good with numbers. I'm not an analytical, yet I've learned that that's something that I needed to do. So I had a couple safeguards that I did. I had a safeguard that I did a daily tracking, a weekly tracking, and a monthly tracking because I didn't want to get caught off guard. Because once you get past a month on that tracking sheet, because I know that once I go past a month, I can't count the numbers up. So I keep track of, just so you know, I'll show you I pulled some stuff. So I have a daily tracking sheet. Okay.
Oh,
and then
awesome.
I do a year to date over here. So this is from this week and the contacts that I've made. I do it. So I do all my contacts Monday through Thursday. So I don't have to make calls on Friday because as much as I love making calls, I don't like making calls and I like to have my Fridays off. Okay. And it's a little incentive.
Right.
So I do this weekly and then year to date, but then also I have this because I'm visual. So this is the red marks are the days that I've already planned. Every month I have this planned out for the whole year. So on the red marks are my weekends and Fridays that I don't have to make phone calls. The green dollars mean I made my contacts.
Yes.
The pink ones mean I didn't.
Yep.
So one was a snow day and I took it. I didn't make calls from home and I could have. I had buyers that came in from out of town. So there's going to be things that happen, but then I knew how short I was in February, so how I needed to make it up. So consistency, tracking, knowing where you're at is so important. As much as I hate doing this, I try to do it in a way that, I don't know if the word is fun, but it made it so it was, I can look at that and be like, oh yeah, I know how much I did and didn't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even with that happening, being consistent, January, February, March starts to creep along. And I took a listing right away, like within a couple of weeks. And then I took another listing towards the end of March. No sales, no deals, listing taken, another listing taken, no paychecks. And I'm going into March, end of March. Right? So it's that old 3-month time that I have seen agents get frustrated. And so I'm sitting here, so to speak, and thinking, okay, this is it. This is the test. How much tenacity do you have? How much blind faith? Remember, you and I used to talk about blind faith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? I don't know how many of my coaching clients would say, if you told me keep going one more time, I was going to fly to you and smack you upside your head because I got tired of you saying, keep going.
Yep.
Well, I kept going and I kept going. And then all of a sudden, my goal right now is to have 3 transactions a month and I'm hitting it. Fine. But it's the 5th month, right?
That is awesome. Right. I love it.
Right. But 3rd month, really nothing. fourth
Yeah.
month, fifth month. But if I had stopped, if I didn't stay true to what I needed and do what I had to do every day, I would have just ended. Or, the whole roller coaster you and I used to go through.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Great
I'm sorry.
testament.
Go ahead.
Great testament to not just new agents, but experienced agents as
Yeah.
well. Because when you get into a market change like we're in right now,
Mhm. You have to get
you
back at
know,
it.
you have to get back at it, and you need to be consistent. And
Mhm.
I know the agents that I've helped mentor over the years as well. You get that 3 month where they give up, and they're right there. They're knocking on the door. It's about ready to open, and I'm just those of you that are listening out there, I hope you really got this good nugget that Judy gave us. But just keep working at it. Keep working at it. It will work. I'm a testament to that because that's what she taught me.
Mhm. Yep. And even if you're not as consistent as I was, because I would say 2 out of the 4 months I was like 100%, and the other 2 I was maybe 80 and 175% of what I was supposed to do. And I hate to give those numbers because I don't, you give an inch and we all take a mile, right? But it just, no matter where you're at, if you stay in motion, then it starts to come back to you. The more you do, the faster it will come to you.
Right.
That's key. Because it's always going to take a certain amount of time, a certain amount of people, and then your skills get better. Because remember, part of what I wrote down just as I was thinking about what I wanted to get across here is, for me, I still had the skills, right? So because I role played with you guys, and I had I knew what to say, and I wasn't afraid of rejection. For new agents, some of it is they're afraid because they don't know what to say. And what I encourage you is to do it afraid and do it poorly. Do it while you suck, because these people don't know who you are. And there's been calls that I've made that I suck at, and I get an appointment. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a I like totally went off script. I totally like, what was I saying? And they're like, okay, yeah, I'll meet with you. I'm like,
Something that just it popped in my mind that I remember you saying this all the time. You make the calls, practice on them.
on them.
Yeah. They don't know you, right? Like you just said, but practice on them.
Mhm.
Who cares if they hang up
Mhm.
but you just never know. It's a numbers game.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one of the things that I have figured out, I figured out while I was coaching, and I was able to, and I think I did this with you as well, because obviously scripts are so important. So, and it saved my life because I'm not a natural salesperson. I'm not very, I don't do a lot of small talk. So for me, sales was really scary in the beginning. So the scripts for me, when I got a hold of those, they saved me and made my business. What I learned while I coached, and now especially coming back into real estate, is everybody should learn those scripts and they make them their base. Once you know them, then you can have fun and make it yourself. Like I
Yeah.
have reworked almost every script to be now who I am, because I'm seasoned, I have the skill and the knowledge. As a new agent, do the script. Work with someone who can help you tweak it a little if it doesn't feel right.
Right. Right.
So it's been an interesting transition for sure.
So when you decided to get back in, you decided to line yourself with EXP Realty, and tell me a little bit about that. The journey of why you chose EXP, and then what challenges did that solve for you?
Okay. So the reason I got into EXP, kind of a twofold. One was when I was thinking about leaving the coaching company that I helped start. That was a brokerage as well, a big brokerage. And what I had, and again, I'm grateful for everything that I've been through in my career and all the people that have been there. So when I say this next thing, I don't want it to be a dig on anybody, but what I felt coming out of big brokerages that were owned by individuals is that going into EXP allowed me to be at a brokerage where that broker's decisions, personally, financially, how they ran their business. When I went to EXP, I knew I was going to have a broker that is phenomenal. In fact, my broker I used to coach. It's so funny. Yeah, but she's my broker of record, but she's not my broker. I no longer am going to be affected by a single person's decisions on how they run their business and how it affects me. I have a corporate umbrella brokerage that I think is amazing. And my broker now is just there for making sure my contracts are right. And today I called them for some team questions, but I'm autonomous. So I have all the beauty of being protected and somewhere to go for questions, but this is my business. It's all, I don't have to ask for anything. I get to make the decisions. And if I want to start a CRM, if I want to spend money, not spend money, it's my decision, not somebody else's that might affect me.
So basically, you have started a business within a business. So you've started your own kind of brokerage within a brokerage, which you don't have to worry about any of the legal part of it that the broker takes care of, right? Yeah. And any kind of financial things. But you have, tell everybody the name of your company.
Okay. So that's the beautiful thing. EXP is a big supporter of building your own brand. Yes, we have to have a little, I mean, it's so little that they make us put EXP on there, right?
Right.
So I started out my company and I named it GEM, JEM Realty Group. And that's because my name is Judy, my husband's name is Eric, and our daughter's name is Maria, GEM. So it's a company acronym, and my daughter is my assistant. And so it's just something that is really near and dear, because I think in our businesses, it becomes so business-like that I think if we have a real heart hold on what we're doing, I think it makes a big thing, or whatever is important to somebody. So that was important. The other reason I got into EXP is a couple of the ladies and you, but in particular, a couple of ladies that I used to sell real estate with, because you were just getting into it when I kind of started thinking about this. A couple of ladies I used to sell real estate with in Michigan have been in at EXP since almost the conception. She was very at the beginning, Michelle, and then Tina, and I just saw what they were doing. I saw what they were accomplishing. I didn't talk to them till about when I was making my decision, but it just rang true to what I wanted. I wanted that autonomy, and I wanted the protection, and I wanted the growth. And it wasn't even a question. Like, it was not a question.
A good friend of mine, Jay Kinder, says, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that the truth? I mean, that's the way it happened for me as well. And, I just think sky's the limit for what we're able to do. Mm-hmm. This company also, offers, coaching. So, as agents within this company, you can go and get that, assistance and help with coaching or the number of classes that you're able to take each week. It's an upwards of 50, 60, 70 classes per week. And there's so many.
And that's another thing that really has been amazing for me coming here, because I didn't leave coaching lightly, because it was a passion of mine and I loved it. Good news is I don't have to loved it. I still can do it. Yes. And so now I get to build my legacy with my daughter and whoever else comes, because I have other people that have come with me. So I'm able to do this and do my real estate business. I'm still able to coach. I have people that when they saw me go back into production, old coaching clients called me, and I now have a coaching schedule. I want to keep it to no more than 10 so that I can, do what I need to do. But then I also have people that have come into EXP under me that I feel responsible for. So I can do coaching because people want it individually and they're not ready to come to EXP, or I can do it within our team structure because we've come together. And it's just, I don't know. It's like I keep looking back like, is this really happening?
It is. This platform that Glenn Sanford put together for EXP is amazing. I can't say enough of what it's done for my business.
Yeah.
And Judy, I don't want to take up much more of your time. I know it's precious and you have a very busy schedule, and I can't thank you enough for doing this and joining us. Yes, we have to do this again.
Yeah, it's been fun reminiscing with you for sure. And I hope that this helps anybody deciding. I know that we didn't talk about me saying this, but I'm going to. If this helps anybody make the decision to make the move, because it is, and not even just make the move. If you've come across this because you're trying to decide to change careers, if you want to get into real estate, I'm telling you, you can. Look, if Denny and I can do it, no offense, Denny, but if Denny and I can do it, anyone can do it.
If you just have questions that you want answered, reach out, because questions cost nothing. And that you don't know everything that EXP offers. And the other thing that we don't know is what you're looking for. What needs do you have as an agent? And that's something that, we both can help you with. So,
and this is the first brokerage, right, that I have ever seen that walks the talk. Everybody says, oh, we give you all the information. Oh, our agents are so giving. This is where you can go, and because you do well, I do well, and it just opens up people to be more giving. It's just, yeah. So
the collaboration is huge. You and I are partners in this business.
Yep.
Which, that would have never crossed my mind years ago that you and I would end up as partners in the company, but we are partners. We are owners of our own realty company, and I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Judy, oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you.
You are somebody very, very special to me.
Me too.
And can't thank you enough. I'm going to go ahead and is there anything you want to add or say to the audience?
I think we've covered it. Just I guess, again, just reiterate that if you're undecided, call someone at EXP, call Denny, call me, call anybody at EXP, because whether you come in with us or somebody else's, it will put you in that next level that you want to go to. So, and thanks again, Denny. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm going to give the ending here. Thank you all for tuning in. We were committed to bringing you the valuable tips and insights to help you make informed decisions about your real estate career. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.